Let's build a business based on H2H, not B2B, but human-to-human sales and marketing automation. A human approach is the only one that sells.
Oh, hello everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to our show. Today we are dining in from London at a Grow Europe event. And I have a bunch of people together with me. Guys, let's get introduced.
Yeah, so my name is Brian Mackey from Dublin, Ireland, if you can't tell from the accent. I run an agency called Baskey Digital, essentially a team of nerds, all obsessed with HubSpot to make sure organizations get the most out of their license.
Fantastic.
Yep. I'm Bart McConnell. I'm the software engineer with Baskey. Yeah, so my job is to build the websites, to code everything, and yeah, that's basically it.
Awesome. Yep, Stephen Marshall, HubSpot CRM specialist for Automate Now. Working alongside Bart from everything to sales, marketing, and operations data to make sure, HubSpot users and companies utilizing the CRM get most of the money and a really strong CRM service.
So, guys, thank you. I think guys, you just arrived, isn't it? And,
Yes, we did.
And there are lots of things to take up, and we have quite a lot of people traveling from different parts of Europe just to see what is going on within AI. As a little introduction, there's lots of talks about marketing, specifically how marketers could benefit out of AI to accelerate what they do, content, but also accessing, doing things quicker, productivity.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the blockers. So we are working within HubSpot environment ecosystem, and we are working with lots of tons of clients and customers. Guys, what would be the blockers? It's maybe from you.
I think the blockers for me are the same as they are with or without AI. CRMs, a lot of organizations are focused on getting as much data as they can.
Yeah.
Just like these large CRMs are everything possible. When they actually have that data, they actually, let's say, use AI to fix or format that data in the right way. What do they actually do with it? I find organizations often don't have answers for this. Or let's say they do build the reports or get the dashboards they want. What is going to influence their next actions with the output in that data? And it's very hard to answer that question. I think we need to answer that first before AI becomes the center of how we do all our processes, in my opinion.
100%. What's your take, guys?
No, I completely agree. I think it's also important to know that, behind every process, there's a person that came up with that process in the first place. Yeah. I think we tend to look at all of these different things, and we talk about AI and process and tools that we implement, but there has to be meaning behind it. I was listening to a chat earlier, and a lot of people put a lot of these processes behind some sort of metric, which is efficiency. When you're putting a metric towards a goal, sometimes that can become the blocker because the change of the actual outcome, the KPI that you're looking for, is variant depending on that process that you're implementing.
Absolutely.
You'll start influencing that KPI, that specific result, based on one single process, maybe not taking into consideration everything else. So I think it's important to remember that once you are implementing AI and once you're implementing in a process, don't become your own blocker. Know that if you're going to do it, stand by it and make sure that the results are measurable, but they're also scalable and someone's going to take control.
Yep.
Because if not, then you've got 1,000 tools in your arsenal of a toolbox, and then they just keep piling up.
That's it. Like my dad, too many tools in the shed, doesn't use any of them.
So I'm not handling them.
Yeah.
So am I right saying that a little bit we're talking about the AI as a gadget now? With many boardrooms, they moaning about being more productive. They see this, giving a prompt and having an outcome, but there is no really enablement piece inside the business because of that blocker. So now, because we are talking about enablement, but also AI, but what are you doing now differently than when you started your career? This is November. When you listen to this is November. We are nearly end of the year, Q4. What has changed since January in terms of how you run your own business, your own work, and how you think the business are shifting? What is your observations?
I think I love AI as a brainstorming tool to have someone who's very neutral sometimes when you're actually going through a problem or situations. I find it very educational on things you might not be aware of or different industry sectors or different problems different organizations might be having. So for me, it's a nice, tennis partner.
Tennis partner.
Do you know what I mean? And actually do a few rallies and take it easy on me, educate me, show me new solutions to problems that I didn't really understand had these types of solutions. So for me, AI is honestly an amazing tool for learning and showing me paths I didn't really see before. Tech's a labyrinth. So it's nice to have a guide like that, I guess.
For website-wise, how do you use AI? Do you use AI in it?
Yes, I do. It's I think every software engineer at the moment is probably addicted to using these AI tools because it's just changed our lives like so much. And yes, if you start using like the code editors that are basically all prompt based or like text completions. Yeah, Cursor's a big one. So like I think the perfect use case for AI at the moment is coders. Like I think like when you see the rankings, like I remember I checked it maybe a few months ago and it was ranking as like the 50th best competitive programmer in the world. And that was a couple of months ago. So I'll say it's probably, I'd say the top now,
Yeah.
So you essentially have an intern beside you that's the best coder in the world.
Yeah.
So you can't not use that if you're developing websites or anything.
And coding is a type of language, right? And LLMs, that's what they do. Like, so it's literally giving the process of that language, understanding that alphabet to, as you're saying, prompt engineer a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Even you, from January till now, what has changed?
Everything really. You mentioned the educative piece. And what I was going to say when you asked that question is I feel like I have a teacher. And what I do more of now is just learn because I now don't have the worry. I wouldn't say worry is the word for it. The uncertainty that what I'm going to do might actually not work or be a waste of time. Nothing's a waste of time now with AI because you're able to fill that gap that used to require a lot of time to learn, but it fills in the gaps. I know vibe coding, a lot of people like it, a lot of people don't like it.
Yeah.
But essentially, I've done software boot camps and software development boot camps, but I never became a software developer because I've maintained for the business side. But this has now opened the door for me to be able to be sort of that gateway path into doing small bits of coding without the need to potentially know exactly how to script it within Python or run sort of playwright tests and so forth. And I love the learning piece. It's giving everyone a route to do something they previously thought it was too late to do. Maybe.
Absolutely, yeah. It's amazing in that way because everyone can dip their toes into many different fields now.
Yeah.
Like, you can actually, if you just have a good understanding of tech, even if you don't have the engineering ability, you can actually come up with these really clever solutions using AI that's more difficult.
One of the guy who shared recently, in the morning session, idea of having a focus group project. Create prompts around. We've got an idea which is fantastic. We all have a limited team.
Yeah.
Resources, and we have this clever idea of webinar. Maybe this is not a great idea to run that webinar at that time. So having a little bit more third-party validation. I never tested, but this is a really interesting use case. Focus group, creating focus group as a one. Another one that came to my mind is like when you sell things, let's analyze or sell or deliver and analyze all of the calls we've got in your system and say like ask specific like coaching.
I built some amazing reports using ChatGPT recently where I just input all my kind of financial data into that. Added in a little AI bot to actually talk about the data, bring in Irish tax rules and different things like this. Showed my accountant, he's like, "Oh, this is amazing!" Like, what that built was. It's amazing to be able to do that on my own in the space of a few hours. I've changed how I report on everything financial.
So hence this channel is called H2H Sales Automation. We need to talk a little bit more about the humans. Yes. So one of the idea HubSpot shared at this event was hybrid tools, so AI and human. Great idea, obviously, by concept, by frameworks. We're talking about the loop marketing here. We're talking about, accelerating quicker. Question to all of you, obviously, how would you see everyone's saying right now what AI should do. This is fantastic. So now what human should do in that, collaboration piece. And the second question to that is, how we can train our teams to have, to use that.
It's a good question. I think the most important thing is you have to think about your key result. What are you going to get from AI? What's the outcome? And then you also have to remember, if you go into this without a human aspect or a differentiator or a pattern that you want to use because that makes your company distinguished and that's why people would choose you, you're going to end up with what I assume is going to be a large amount of companies doing the exact same thing with AI, using the exact same prompts with the exact same outcome. And that's when everyone's going to realize, okay, now I want a company with a human aspect. And the human part is going to be prompting and understanding what the outcome needs to be, how they can utilize AI to their advantage to get where their human sort of essence is in an outcome and brand positioning, and then maintaining that going forward. And if there isn't that human to sort of, sort of agent AI or any type of LLM model, you're going to essentially be building something that might not resonate with anyone that's essentially looking for a type of product or service. And then, then you've lost it, essentially.
Yeah, I find this question like philosophically really hard for me to answer. No, it's just difficult because I guess I'm really comfortable with AI being used for like science, for like quantity, like the really hardcore data, like getting those like your independent variables and things like this. But as soon as I kind of have AI coming into the art, I used to be a musician, so like there's a lot more AI music coming out now. Sales and a lot of sales and business is an art, and I'm always a little bit afraid of getting into that having AI too involved in humanity or our human elements, because like it's great on the science, more empirical side, but I do find it a bit an ethical dilemma on that side of things. Like, do I really want an AI conversation salesperson be my BDR? And like, I don't know how comfortable I feel with that. And I kind of need to think about the ethics more, if that makes sense. I hope that answered it.
No, yeah, I think there's no like definite answer like what human role to be. Definitely what I noticed over the past, especially me not being an English not native speaker, everyone, including myself, is sending fantastic emails, fantastic content.
Yeah.
My AI avatar can
I'm sending emails in Polish,
which is weird and which is not human.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
One is making mistakes.
Yes.
One is is tired.
Yes.
Sometimes it's not ideal.
And that connects with people. Sometimes there's your email's not perfect. There's a spelling or grammar mistake. People like seeing people fail and trip, because it makes you feel connected.
And maybe this is the part, like, our best sales and marketing is actually us.
Yes.
And just we can use clever the insights for what we are,
It sounds silly because I would sometimes debatably add a typo just so they realise that I actually write this. Because what I'll think is I put a lot of effort into something that someone will just effectively think, well, he's prompted that in about 3 seconds, and that's the response. Where in reality is, how do you show that? And then that's where what you do really well, content, us talking, explaining our sides of the story. This is where the value is going to be immense. How do you show that in an email when everything is
absolutely
not real?
100%, yeah. It's very difficult. It's just, and that's it. Like, this is very like philosophical again, but we have a world where like we really like value perfection, value things like this. When, to be honest, I want to go over the world where I can be a little bit more frail, I can mess up a little bit, demonstrate weaknesses, and I'm a bit scared AI will remove that tendency for me.
Great point.
This is a very outside of business, but life feeds into business in a sense, and we need to think about these things.
So final point, quite a lot of delegates just get out of the room, so it's busy here. 2026. What's your plans? What do you want to change? What should be the focus in terms of what business AI adopting? What's your thought? Obviously, what is really great part of podcasts is we can always go back.
Yes.
To go and see what was our state of mind at that moment.
Absolutely.
And just reflect like, hey, this is not. So let's make some kind of statement here.
I like it.
What are you going to do? You're going to see and review it in your time. And that's going to be our part of like kind of self-coaching being polished.
Yeah. Honestly, the first thing I just think of is learn. I want to grow. I want to learn more. I want to broaden my horizons a little bit. I'm really lucky to have a super smart team of really clever academic people, and I want to make sure that they're feeling like they're learning something new. They're not getting bored. We can build more in the HubSpot kind of, ecosystem. And just expand our minds as well, not just the work.
Ori, any 2026 when you're gonna do it differently by the next year the same time?
Let's go put it on record, I guess. But as an engineer, I kind of just want to build stuff, So I want to build and probably transition away from these theory-based projects, so we can actually build products and then sell products without starting again every project. So that's what we want. We want to start building
value-based
products.
For me, it's goes back to the education piece, and something I think being used to doing art is sort of becoming that trainer, that teacher. I really want to be able to continue using sort of AI and technology in a way that it helps businesses, more particularly some SMEs that are scared to use the tool. Everyone can find it so daunting. Someone said today, I think the majority of people aren't using AI outside of tech. I don't believe that to be true. I see people that have no idea of tech use AI, but they're asking ChatGPT how to make a shortbread recipe or very things outside of business. Yeah. All we do here is talk about AI for business, but we forget there's a whole AI for real life and personal. So I want to be able to think that within a year's time, I've also managed to understand the LLM a bit more and the architecture behind it and how it works, to be able to sort of be that voice of reason and that sort of calming voice when it comes to AI, to be able to help businesses grow using these tools without feeling that they're either sacrificing their brand or getting into territory that just overwhelms them. I'd like to think that that's going to be a thing that we work on together as well.
No, it's fantastic. And the final word for me is curiosity. I think I'm coming to the curiosity to see what is next. Building up culture within the team, because this is also a opportunity for everyone to fail. Yes. With these projects is our opportunity to win massive. And I think because we are we try to be the best of the best in front of the clients by saying that we know everything. But obviously we don't, and we need to use that opportunity to fail quickly. Use the technology to learn. And then, eventually that's going to be at the top, hopefully, next year we're going to have some outcomes.
That's it. Fingers crossed, couldn't have said it better.
Yeah, Brian, Paulie, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for everyone to listen.
Thanks. Thank you.
Let's build a business based on H2H, not B2B, but human-to-human sales and marketing automation. A human approach is the only one that sells.